Judge a man by his questions, not his answers. The hidden key to meaningful conversations. One of the most overlooked truths in human interaction is this: the quality of your questions determines the quality of your connections. We often walk away from conversations feeling they were superficial, unfulfilling, or simply missed the mark. More often than not, this isn't because of what was said, but because of what wasn't asked. Let's explore 4 expert-level strategies to ask better questions that forge genuine connection, build trust, and help you navigate difficult conversations with social grace and psychological insight. WS by Wek Sadiq. Ask emotionally tuned follow-up questions. A landmark study conducted at UC Berkeley analyzed thousands of first-date conversations to uncover what actually made people want to meet again. While physical appearance and charisma played a role, the most decisive factor was whether one person asked meaningful follow-up questions. A follow-up question is when you respond directly to what someone has said, with a question that invites them to expand. For example, Person A: I'm really excited about next weekend. You: Oh, you're looking forward to next weekend? What's happening? This simple technique is called the echo method, repeating a fragment of what someone just said to encourage elaboration. Why does this work? Because people subtly throw conversational bait all the time, clues about what really matters to them. Most people ignore it, but when you pick up on that bait and care enough to follow up, you unlock real intimacy. Light bulb follow-up topics to deepen connection. Experiences. What made you move to this city? Where's the most unforgettable place you've traveled to? Follow-up: how did that make you feel? Or, would you do it again? Dreams. What's something you've always wanted to do? Follow-up: what's held you back? How would your life change if you did it? Passions and hobbies. What do you absolutely love doing? Follow-up: what do you love most about it? How do you feel when you're in the zone? Motivations. What made you get into that field? Follow-up: what drives you to keep going? By focusing on how things made them feel, not just what happened, you move the conversation away from sterile facts and into emotional resonance. This is where real connection begins. Start safe, then build deeper, gradual self-disclosure. You cannot walk into a conversation expecting someone to immediately open up about their deepest fears, regrets, or desires. Emotional intimacy is not built through interrogation, it is built through gradual, reciprocal self-disclosure. This principle was famously demonstrated in the study known as the 36 Questions That Lead to Love by researchers Arthur and Elaine Aron. Participants who asked each other increasingly deep and vulnerable questions were more likely to feel a strong connection, and in some cases, even fall in love. 1. Tier 1, safe. Who would you invite to dinner if you could choose anyone? 2. Tier 2, personal. What's your most treasured memory? 3. Tier 3, intimate. What do you like about your conversation partner already? You must build a safe space first, and only then gradually turn the dial toward emotional depth. This mirrors real-life trust building. Deflect difficult questions with strategic rebounds. Sometimes in conversations, especially in interviews, negotiations, or tense social settings, we get asked a question we'd rather not answer. Simply refusing to respond can raise red flags and make the information seem even more suspicious or important. Instead, use question deflection. Respond with a relevant, strategic question of your own that redirects the spotlight while keeping rapport intact. Bullseye examples. Interviewer: what did you earn at your last job? You: could you tell me more about the salary range for this role? Colleague: are you planning on having kids? You: do you have any kids? Negotiator: what's the most you're willing to pay? You: what price did you have in mind? The psychology here is simple. If you shift the spotlight back with relevance and tact, you maintain control of the conversation and reduce the chance of manipulation, without creating unnecessary friction. Important tip: always stay within the same context. If someone asks about salary and you respond with, "What's your favorite food?" you'll come off evasive or unserious. Avoid assumptions. Ask the hard questions directly. Imagine you're buying a second-hand phone and you ask, "There aren't any issues with it, right?" This question is flawed because it assumes there are no problems, and it invites a quick, easy denial. A better way to phrase it is, what issues should I know about? This assumes that issues might exist, and gives the other person space to be honest. In social psychology, this is called presumptive questioning. By assuming a potential issue, you signal that you're not naive. Encourage transparency, and reinforce your confidence and assertiveness. Apply this everywhere. Instead of, you don't have any questions, do you? Say, what questions do you have? Instead of, the neighbors are fine, right? Ask, have previous tenants complained about noise? Bonus, ask for advice, to win respect and influence. In a study by Harvard researchers, people who asked others for advice were perceived as more competent, not less. This may sound counterintuitive, but here's the psychological reason. Asking for advice flatters people in a subtle, non-threatening way. It signals that you respect their judgment, expertise, and opinion. But don't ask for advice on things they clearly don't know, or things you could easily Google. Make it sincere, relevant, and ideally tied to their strengths. I admire your work in design. Could you give me some advice on how to get started in that space? This strategy reflects one of Robert Greene's timeless ideas in the 48 Laws of Power. Never outshine the master. Asking for advice builds bridges. Competing too early builds walls. Final thoughts. In the art of human connection, questions are your most powerful tool. They are the lens through which others see you, and more importantly, how they see themselves in your presence. Checkmark to master your conversations. Ask follow-ups that go beyond the surface. Focus on emotion and care. Build depth gradually by creating a safe emotional environment. Deflect difficult questions by redirecting attention with relevance. Avoid assumptions. Assume problems might exist and inquire accordingly. Ask for advice wisely to build influence and respect. Speak with curiosity. Listen with empathy. Question with purpose.